The Digipreneur is here, my friends. Keron Rose, he joins us on the Zoom line. Keron, great to see you. It's been quite a while, but I look forward to our discussion this morning.
Good morning, JW, and as always, thanks for having me.
That's right. You know, with the, I guess, technological times that we live in, this age of technology and computers and social media, there are so many different careers and titles popping up, and one such is the SEO Specialist. That is the Search Engine Optimization Specialist. I'm sure this was a role and function that did not exist 50, 60, 70 years ago. You know, so it's such an interesting one. And in a way that we could all understand, can you break down for us the role and function of the SEO Specialist? This, again, is the Search Engine Optimization Specialist.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I'm glad you started off the way that you did, because this is one of those careers where it's been around for a little while now, but it has evolved tremendously given all of the advancements in technology. So what a search engine optimization specialist is, and this is something that almost every single company should have on board today. Their job is essentially to get your website visible across the multiple search engines, or search engines like Google, Bing, Yahoo, right? We know that when we are looking for information, somebody goes on Google or any search engine, they type in their question or their query, and we tend to go through all of the results on page 1. JW, when's the last time you visited page 2 or page 3?
You know, if I'm really trying to do a forensic breakdown, I try to get the full story, but it's very rare. It's very rare. Page 2, page 3, well, page 3 for sure don't see me at all.
Yeah.
But page 2.
But we know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we know that it goes on until, right?
Yeah.
The goal and the reason why the SEO specialist is so important is because the goal is to get your website, your content, your products, your services on page 1, because page 1 is considered the money page. Anything beyond page 2 is considered the Google graveyard or the Bing graveyard. So the goal of an SEO specialist is to, 1, you got to be able to do the market research to know exactly what you need to do to be able to get your website's content and products on page 1. That's what that role is in a nutshell.
Is that also something, do they also, let's say, try to get your product or service, let's say, on one of those platforms like, let's say, Alibaba or Amazon? Because, again, that's also a scenario where most people would do the purchase on page 1 as opposed to page 2, page 3.
Yeah, so, I mean, because Alibaba is an actual service, that's usually a business decision where a company could say, hey, we have these products and we want to be able to sell on Alibaba. Now, Alibaba is primarily for manufacturers out in China. AliExpress is what we considered a drop shipping partner. So people could list their products on AliExpress, and people from all over the world can purchase those products on AliExpress. But ideally, your company or your business would have a website and you're selling your products on your website, or you have your services, or you're creating content and putting out information. And the goal is for that SEO specialist to get the stuff on page 1. Now, another big part of the role is we know that the search engines like Google and Bing, they are 2 giants that collect the most amount of data on humans in the world, right? An SEO specialist has the tools, the capabilities, and the knowledge to extract all of that data that Google is collecting on us on a general basis. We are able to now see that information extracted, and we can now put it into documentation or put it into a strategy that allows businesses to build a better business strategy or help businesses create a better marketing strategy.
So does the SEO specialist work by themselves, or do they work alongside a team? Is this a department, and probably the SEO specialist is the head of a department? Can one person do all this kind of analytics?
Yeah, so typically you might have 1 or 2 SEO specialists as a part of your team, but your SEO specialist is typically a part of your marketing team. So for most organizations that I see or work with, or even just looking online onto our job boards, I've almost never, ever seen across the entire Caribbean a company hiring an SEO specialist, and it's one of the most integral parts of your business strategy and marketing team. And that is a role that we just don't see being hired for across the Caribbean. What we do see is we would see things like a company looking for a social media specialist or a marketing specialist. And amongst all of the different roles of a social media specialist or marketing specialist, they'll slip in SEO. And when I see that, it just lets me know that SEO is a very, very misunderstood specialty in the Caribbean, because that's not a slip in of a duty. That is an entire specialization that needs a dedicated person to doing that as a part of the overall marketing team.
Is there any place one can go to be accredited to study this, or is this something that you learn organically once you're in the environment and the space?
Great question. So there are a number of certifications that you can get as an SEO specialist. So I have a couple of them here, right? So some of the free courses, I'm going to tell everybody free courses because I like people to be able to get started with no barriers, right? And I'm going to let you guys know some of the paid courses. So some of the free courses is SEO Fundamentals by SEMrush, SEMrush. We also have Google SEO Fundamentals by the University of California. That is also a free course. One of the top, another free course is SEO Certification by HubSpot. That's HubSpot. And one of the popular paid courses are Search Marketing Specialist by Digital Marketer, and also SEO from ClickMinded. Those are some great courses that you guys can do to start off with the free courses, then move your way over to the paid courses. And the good news is that all of these courses are internationally recognized by companies around the world.
Wow, so it's one of those careers, as you said, it's been around for a minute, but now it's even more important based on advancements in technology, the fact that everything now is data-based. And I would imagine once someone is a good SEO specialist, they can really bring extra revenue to the company or the organization that they work for. Does this also reflect on the SEO specialist remuneration package? Are they well paid? Are they doing well? Do you know of SEO specialists who living the life?
Yeah, so I will say this, right? Because we have such a lack of SEO specialists in Trinidad and Tobago, you don't really see them too often here locally, but the remuneration packages at a bare minimum. So I have the salary as a starting level SEO specialist in the US. That person would make around $34,000 a year. That works out to be $230,600 TT. That is a starting salary as a SEO specialist. It's also one of these positions that you could work remotely. So I'm an SEO, I'm certified SEO specialist, and the companies that I particularly do SEO for are not in Trinidad. So it's one of those roles where you're able to work remotely. You can live in various parts of the world. You can either go and work for companies and get employment, or you can have clients for your SEO practice. So again, $230,000 as a starting salary, and that's just bare minimum. That's you getting certified and you now starting. That can go all the way up. Where did my salary list go? That could go all the way up to almost $90,000 per year. And if we were to convert that to TT dollars, that's about $610,000 per year.
Wow. Again, you know, it's so interesting, and I'm happy we always get into these conversations, because for some of the more mature folks looking on, the whole concept of an SEO specialist is something you wouldn't have dreamed of something like that 20, 30, 40 years ago. But now there are new career roles, new functions, new opportunities presenting itself in this technological age. So again, I'll give you a chance as we wrap things up to just put the information out as to where people can go to get the certification.
Right. So again, if you're looking to get SEO certification, some of the courses that I recommend, I'll read them back, is SEO Fundamentals from SEMrush, SEMrush. You also have the Google SEO Fundamentals by the University of California. You have SEO certification by HubSpot, HubSpot. Go check out Search Marketing Specialist by Digital Marketer, and also SEO by ClickMinded. Go do the free courses to get your feet wet so you thoroughly understand. But trust me when I say it's an extremely important specialization, because remember, everybody has to sell on their website, especially in the Caribbean, where none of the social media platforms have access to e-commerce, which means every business in the Caribbean has to sell on their website, and they need a search engine specialist to ensure that their products, their services, and content show up on page one.
Digipreneur Keron Rose, I want to thank you for the great information this morning, and I look forward to more next week, God spare.
Thanks again. See you next week, JW.
All the best. Our Digipreneur Keron Rose. Up next, we get into our health and wellness conversations. Dr. Lablashi joins me to discuss cancer survivorship planning. Our conversation on cancer. It continues after the break.